Hi, boys and girls. Today's story is called Tseulene. All right, and that's a really hard word to say, Tseulene. All right, and this folktale originated in a country called Botswana many, many years ago. Botswana is on the continent of Africa. All right, so this story is from Botswana, and it's similar to Little Red Riding Hood and Hugu Po. Although there are some similarities, there will be some things that are different. So I want you to listen carefully to the folktale to see what is similar and what is different about this story. Once upon a time in the southern region of Africa, where the Bantu language is spoken, there lived a girl named Tseulene. She lived with her mother and father. The family lived in a little round house with a thatched roof. One day Tseulane's mother said, "I must go to the village for some things we need. You may stay here, but be sure to keep the door locked. Watch out for the hungry leopards who roam the land." Tseulane's mother set out for the village. Tseulene stayed at home by herself. Tseulene had stayed home by herself before. Each time, her mother would return and call out in her sweet, high voice that sounded like the song of the Ataga bird. "Tseulene, my child," her mother would call from outside the door. "I have brought you some food. Open the door." "That is my mother's voice," Tseulene would say. Her voice is high and sweet like the song of the Ataga bird. Each time Tseulene would open the door and see her mother standing there. Her mother would always bring Tseulene some bread and porridge. Tseulene would then sit down and eat with her mother. One day, when Tseulane's mother had gone to the village, Tseulene heard a knock on the door. "Tseulene, my child," said a low, gruff voice, "it is your mother. I have brought you some food. Open the door." "That is not my mother's voice," said Tseulene. "My mother's voice is high and sweet, like the song of the Ataga bird. Go away, you wicked leopard." The leopard went away, but he came back soon after and tried to make his voice sound like a woman's voice. "Tseulene, my child," said the leopard, "it's your mother. I have brought you some food. Open the door." "That is not my mother's voice," said Tseulene. "My mother's voice is high and sweet, like the song of the Ataga bird. Go away, you wicked leopard." The leopard went away. He came back, but this time he drank a special drink that made his voice higher to sound like Tseulene's mother's voice. "Tseulene, my child," said the leopard in a high, womanly voice, "it's your mother. I have brought you some food. Open the door." "That is my mother's voice," said Tseulene, high and sweet like the song of the Ataga bird. Tseulene opened the door and saw the leopard. With a fright, she tried to slam the door shut again, but it was too late. The leopard stuffed Tseulene into the sack and carried her away, intending to take her back to his habitat on the savannah. After carrying the heavy bag for a while, the leopard stopped by a small stream. After traveling so far in the heat and carrying the heavy bag, he needed a cool drink. Rather than carry the heavy bag down to the stream, the leopard left the bag on the side of the road, as he intended to be away from only a short moment. The leopard climbed down the hill to the stream to get a drink. As soon as he was gone, a little girl came walking down the road. Seeing the bag alongside the road, the little girl became curious. So she peeped into the bag. She saw some fingers sticking up quickly and closed the bag. "Whose fingers were those?" she asked. "Mine," said a voice. "My name is Tseulene. Please let me out. I am smothered here in this small, hot space." "Tseulene," said the girl, "why, your mother is my aunt. She has been visiting here in the village." The little girl let Tseulene out of the bag. Then she and Tseulene ran to get Tseulene's mother. When she heard what had happened, Tseulene's mother filled the leopard's bag with scorpions and snakes. The little girl let Tseulene When he had finished getting his cool drink, the leopard came back to the road and grabbed the sack. Then he set off for his home. When the leopard arrived back at the savannah, he opened the bag, intending to start eating his tasty feast. Instead, angry snakes slithered out. Dozens of scorpions poured out of the bag, shaking their poisonous tails. The leopard put his great speed to work and darted or ran quickly across the savannah, never to bother Tseulene or her family again. As for Tseulene, she decided to always accompany her mother to the village and follow her mother's instructions, and they all lived happily ever after. The end.